Y'all, Holy Spirit be Holy Spirit. And I know that's not good grammar, but I want you to flow with me because this was too good to not share. So one of the many things that I love about Holy Spirit is that he gives you wisdom and revelation. He gives it to you without reproach. And I love it when he gives it to you and then he'll breathe on it in a whole nother way to give you a deeper level of wisdom or revelation about something. And that's what happened to me this morning. So this morning when I'm getting ready, Holy Spirit drops and reminds me what happened over a year ago. So over a year ago, my husband had taken me and our children out fishing, and that's not an uncommon occurrence. We enjoy fishing together as a family. My husband's the one who taught us all how to fish, and he's a great fisherman. So we're out there and we're fishing. We're there for catfish. So while we're out there, though, my husband and our children are catching some catfish, kind of here and there, but I wasn't catching anything. There are other people there that are catching, but I'm again not catching anything. And then Holy Spirit unctions me to move to a different area. He wants me to go to part that was really shallow at the top of the pond. So I go ahead and I move, and then he tells me to, cast out my rod. As I cast out my rod, I start catching fish after fish after fish. And they were not little, there were some big old catfish. So I'm catching all these catfish, right? And then he drops to me, I'll make you a fisherman of men. And I'm like, who you talking about, Lord? So then that's a whole nother level of conversation, right? But today, though, he breathed on it more in a way that I didn't see before. So then he reminded me that while I was catching all those fish, my husband and my children started catching tons of fish, more and more fish that they were not catching before. And it wasn't other people out there that just started catching bounties of fish. It was just us. And we were catching so many fish, like so much where we had buckets of fish. And then the Lord dropped in me that whenever he calls you to do something, it is never just for you. It is for the good of you, the good of others, and the glory of God. And he showed me then the tangible, me choosing to walk in my steps of faith, me choosing to walk out onto the water further into him, Lord, where my feet would fail, but he never will. But for me to continue walking in faith that he would unlock what needed to be unlocked for me and for my family and for the good of others. Y'all, God is so good. It is never just for you. It is for the good of others and the glory of God. And him showing me the tangible, me choosing to allow him to continue to transform my heart, to continue to make me more of who it is that he's called and purpose for me to be. For me to continue to lay my will down, to pick up his will, to pick up my cross and to follow him. For me to continue to take those steps in obedience. Granted, I don't do it perfectly, but I do it with the heart that I want to serve my one and true and only God. And I want others to know him because he is so good. Choosing to do that unlocks more for my children, for my husband, and for others. And what I say to you today is whatever it is that God is calling for you to do it in obedience. Do it in your act of faith. Do it in your steps of obedience because God works everything together for our good for those who love him and are called in accordance to his purpose. So to be in his purpose, you've got to be in that will. You've got to be in those steps of obedience. So if he's calling you to open the business, open the business. If he's calling you to start the ministry, start the ministry. If he's calling you to stand and gird yourself in something that you don't understand, stand and gird yourself in it because you know that he's the one who brought you to it. So you're going to get through it with him. Stand in what it is he's telling you to do. Go into that deeper level of intimacy with him in your prayer, in your worship, in the reading of your word with Holy Spirit. Whatever it is that he's calling you to do, to walk in obedience. Now, I'm not saying I've got the harvest right now because I don't, but I know whatever it is that he's got planned and purpose is going to come. And I want to encourage you today with what it was that he dropped in me because it was so beautiful and so wonderful and such a beautiful reminder and wisdom of what it is that God is always doing for us. And it is always good. Take those steps in obedience today and go out and do what it is that he's called and purpose for you to do. I pray and I know that this is going to be a blessing for somebody today. Y'all be blessed. God is so good.